And we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Smoothcomp Studio. My name is Rickard Carneborn, and I'm one of the co-founders of Smoothcomp. And together with Martin Johnson and Martin Varghult, they're waiting here in the background. We will today have a webinar. It's been a while. I think the last time was sometime last year. We've been super busy working, traveling, and building Smoothcomp better and better each day. So we're excited to be live again from this studio here. And we have a great webinar for you today. I'd appreciate if someone can just write a comment so that we can see that everything is coming through. So you can use the chat, either if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, just write something in the comment. I see ADCC Thailand is already here. Thank you. That's great. Nice to have you here, guys. Hello, everyone. Manitoba is here. All right, we're live. This is great. I'm excited. So today's topics. We will talk about the dates for refunds. We have now finally, I must say, added the dates when someone can get a refund, when they can cancel, and when they can edit their own registration. So we will go over that. We will also talk about the new feature that we actually display. We display the actual age in the registrations list, so you can actually see that someone is 37 years old and etc. months. We have added participation points. We can now reduce ranking points over time. And then, as you see in the topics here, we will give away credits. There's a lot of people, record numbers, over 50 people have registered and written very nice things about how they use Smoothcomp. And everybody that registered are now in the mix to win 200 credits. Yeah, I won't go over all these topics, but you can see that there's a lot today. And then at the end, we will show you the main topic for today, and that's our live streaming solution. We have built a new live streaming dashboard. We have new apps for iOS and now also support for Android. And it's so good. I used it in an event 2 weeks ago. I streamed 8 mats and it worked flawlessly. So super happy about that. All right, I can hear the guys humming in the background, so I think it's time to let them in, and here they are.
Hi, Rickard. Thanks for having us for this webinar. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Martin Johnson and Martin Varghult joining in from Stenungsund. How's the weather in Stenungsund today?
Did I say that I just installed solar panels and I'm a bit worried about the cloudy weather?
No?
That's nice. The case anyway.
All
Everyone
right.
heard about it at the office.
Who has solar panels in Sweden? That's like
both of us.
Yeah.
All right.
We're both tuning in from the main office today, the headquarters, and it's the end of the day, so we're waving bye to the developers for the day. They're leaving, so all good here.
All good here. And then we have a lot of people joining. I'm just gonna display some of them here in this stream. We have Manitoba. That's our good friend Randall. And then we have Grappling X is here. And then we have Bolts Fun. We have KC, Loud and Clear. We have people all over the world is joining in. Hi from Lithuania, from the Philippines, from Madagascar. Hi, guys. I had a meeting with them just a couple of weeks ago. This is amazing. People from Madagascar joining in. And then we have Empire Grappling. That's Jake. Apologies for logging in late. You're not late. You're just on time. And then Luke's joining in, turning in during my fika. That's Luke Justice from Iowa Sports Commission. They are the guys behind Dan Gable, Donnybrook, and Soldier Salute. And we actually went to Iowa last November, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
December.
Was it December?
It was both.
Yeah, November and December. Yeah. So this is great. Yeah, enjoy your fika, Luke. And then we have people from Prague, from Phuket, from Madagascar again. Yeah. So a lot of people today, which is super exciting. Yeah, let's dive in. I mean, there's a lot of things to cover here. So once again, these are the topics, and then let's dive into the first one. If you have questions during the presentation, just write them in the chat, and then Martin Varghult will answer them for you. And if it's something that is general that everybody should know, we will pick it up here and then talk about it at the end. So comments during the show or after at the Q&A at the end is perfect. All right. See you later, Martin Varghult. I will just switch to this screen now. No, this one. Here we go. All right. So the first topic is the dates for refunds. So as you know, everything on Smoothcomp starts with a personal account. All athletes have a personal account. They can register, they can edit, they can change their registration as long as you as an organizer allows this. They can also cancel the registration. And before, it was a little bit hard to understand when and how, but now we display this box on the first page of each event. So it says cancel and refund policy. And then let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Now we display the last chance to cancel. And in this event, it's actually in 3 years from now. And then the last chance for 100% refund, and then the last chance for a 50% refund. But we also display if you get your money back or if it's a coupon refund. And a coupon refund is you don't get money back, but you can get a coupon for a future event with the same organizer. And then there's the last chance to edit. But there's also support in Smoothcomp to have different dates for different entries. So let's say I want to allow people to edit the registration for one specific entry, but then there's another entry maybe happening a couple of days later. We can individually set the dates. Yeah, sorry.
Like an exception.
Exactly. Yeah. So then it says applies to all entries, but except these. So I can actually see, and then this box shows up. So there are some overrides that we also display. Then let me see if I can go to my event for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I will go here to my account. And then we also display this under the registration for this event. So if I go here, I see my registration for this demo event, and then the same thing is visible here. It says show, cancel, and refund policy. Make it a little bit smaller like that. And then if I click that, it expands like that, and then I can see the same thing that we saw on the first page. Isn't that great?
And I can add that I think in a week or two, these will also be stamped into the terms of service that they sign off when they enter the event. So when they enter a checkbox, they say, I agree to the terms of service, the risk of injury and so forth. The cancellation terms will be on that document as well. So if you have a conflict or anything with an athlete about refunds or not should be available, it will be available for you in those terms of service.
That's great. Thanks. I didn't know that. So there's a lot of things happening that nowadays I don't keep track of everything that's going on, which is great. We're doing a lot of progress in the system every day. All right, that's great. So let's close that one out and then go back to the next part, which is the registrations list. Anyway, was there any chance? Was there any questions about this? Johan Orbo says this is really nice to have. Empire Grappling likes this. Bravo. All right, great. Yeah, it really helps to have that. All right. So the next thing is if we take a look at this registration page here, then you can see that we now display the date of birth for each participant plus the calculation. So if someone is born in 2002, they are 20 years and 8 months based on their date of birth in their profile. Previously, we only displayed the year, But now we even display the actual age. So this person is 20 years and 8 months. This one is 43 years and 6 months. And this was actually originally like a request from Naga, if I don't remember it wrong. So now we have added this, and it helps when bracketing kids, especially the kids, to determine if they're born early in the year or late in the year. So yeah, we're displaying the actual age now. And if we go to the public participants list, we decided to only display the year. So if you see Dwight Holmes here, it says 2006 and then just 16 years. We don't add the month here. Yeah. So that was a little tweak that we made a couple of weeks ago. Then I want to talk a little bit about participation points. So we're going through the list quickly here, as you can see. Then we have some questions, but I think Martin might be able to answer that. People have been signing up for my event without paying. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that for now. So participation points. We can now give points. Previously, we could give points for winning a medal. We could give points for winning in a certain way called extra points. But now this has been added. So you can award someone 1 or 2 or 1,000 points just for participating in an event. And then there's the option to exclude players that already took placement points. So yeah, I think it's self-explanatory. Give points if someone participates, and then if they have won a placement, you can decide to exclude them.
And this could be good for, especially for those of you that uses this for a ranking list in the Federation platform. You might want to encourage people to participate as much as possible, and it might be hard to medal on your event. But just for showing up, they still get a point on the ranking, and they can see their name on the lists together with the big stars, so to speak. So just have an encouragement for participation.
That's great. Now Pavlo Matiev is here. Hello, Pavlo, all the way from Ukraine. I just have to mention this. Pavlo and his team at TMS, they're actually running events during the war. So yeah, hats off, man, and you're doing a great job over there. Glad to have you here in the webinar. All right, that was participation points. Just want to mention also that there is a setting here at the bottom. We had this for years, but just want to mention it. There is an option that you can decide to not give points if a division only has, for example, 1 participant. So people sort of sometimes ask or cannot find this setting. It's really useful. In my events, I don't give team points or athlete points if there's only 1 participant. They haven't fought a match. They're just alone in a bracket. So that gold medal will not count towards the team scores. So then you should check this box. All right, that's participation points. Now, Martin, could you share your screen maybe, and then let's talk a little bit about the reducing of ranking points.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So Martin is sharing, and then you should be able to see. No, that did not work. So.
So 1 second, please. I think it's the mistake is on my behalf. Sorry about that.
Right.
And
we're back here. Okay, now it should work.
Perfect.
Yeah, here we go. All right.
Yeah. So we're looking at one of the settings page from the Federation platform. So if we see the menu in the top, says Federation Administration, and then Settings. And from Settings, you go over to the event. And there's a button called Categories, where I can choose to create a category or work with a category. If you set your event to be part of a category that in this case would be named Reduce Points, you can choose to have points devalue over time. So if you're running a federation and you have ranking points where people earn points for every event, then you might feel that old points is not good for the enthusiasts at the moment. Like somebody scored points 3 years ago, might not be relevant athletes for your ranking points anymore. Then you can choose to devalue the points over time. So the setting I'm showing you now is the copy paste from what IMAF is using, International MMA Federation. So they reduce points by 50% after 1 year, and then they reduce points down to 0%, meaning they become worthless after 2 years. That way, all the ranked players are active players. So if you want to take part of a ranking list, you must participate in the events and be an active competitor. So this is how you set up the category, and then to connect it to an event, I'll just show you here. You can go into an event like maybe the event you had, Rickard, here. Under the Federation tab on the admin, which is visible as soon as you sign up for the Federation platform, here you can choose a category that you assign to your event. So if that is assigned, then all the points that are counting in the previous menu that Rickard showed, the ranking set is these points. You will gain 9 points for an event, but if it's over 12 months old, it will be 4.5 points, and so forth. So that's point reduction.
All right. Great feature. And then we are happy to be working with large federations such as IMAF, the International MMA Federation. And when they come on board, they usually have a lot of knowledge and a lot of requests. And as usual, we build things, but then it's available for anyone on the platform. So this was actually something that they needed, and then we built it, but now it's available for anyone. So great feature. Yeah, that was the first sort of batch of things. Is there any questions about the things we've been talking about so far? And then I must correct myself. When I introduced Pavlo, I must have said something wrong. It's of course TMS. TMS from Ukraine. Hi from St. Petersburg. Right, great to have you here. Johan Orbo had some questions. All right. Okay, so I think it's time to spin the wheel. The first giveaway of credits. So as you can see, it's fully stacked this time. We have over 40 participants. And when I spin the wheel, it will select a winner, and then one of you guys will win 200 credits that we will put into your organizer wallet. So I'm going to spin the wheel now, and let's see what happens.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Iowa Sports Commission was close, but we have a winner. The Federation of Jiu-Jitsu in Santa Catarina in Brazil. All right. Big congrats. Happy to have Brazil on the platform. A lot of Jiu-Jitsu events happening in Brazil. So we will give you 200 credits. And then I'm going to remove them so you can only join the lottery one time. All right. Going back here. So we have made some major updates to our back end. So this is for you, Martin Varghult, who is the technical person of the three of us. So could you share a little bit, Martin Varghult, about the things that we've been working on? It's maybe not be the most sexy topic, but I think it's good to mention how much work is going on a SaaS platform like we have, like software as a service. How much work is being done just to make sure that we're safe and that we're fast. So can you share a little bit about the technical aspect of that?
For sure. So yeah, we understand the importance of providing a safe and secure platform for all our organizers, and we are committed to delivering the best and fastest service possible, as we are an 100% online solution, of course. So we did some quite huge backend updates a couple of weeks ago, and we believe that these backend updates will help us achieve this goal and provide you with the best possible experience. Our platform is hosted on one of the largest infrastructures in the world, Google Cloud. And on Google Cloud, our infrastructure is spread out on multiple servers. So if one server fails, then the other servers will overtake that traffic automatically. And if we need more performance, we can add more servers without any interruptions. So yeah, always trying to just bring fastest and best, safest solution as possible.
Yeah.
So you can always count that Smoothcomp is online 100% of the time.
Yeah, and so far over the years, we started in 2015 developing. The first event was in 2016. We have zero, and I'm saying this with a bit of a sort of how do you say? I might not have all the details, but as far as we know, we had zero events that failed due to us being down server wise. We have had a couple of instances where Smoothcomp was down, but then we were able to fix that very, very fast, and that was caused usually by Google being down or Google servers not being able to provide the service that they provide. And it was not only Smoothcomp that was affected, it was obviously hundreds of thousands of web pages. So we decided early on that going on for an online platform was the right choice to do, because with an online platform you can work from anywhere. Imagine having a local server where there's one computer that you need to have access to work with your tournament, and on an online platform you can use just your phone when you're on the bus or whatever. So the decision we took to choose an online platform, we believe is the right decision, but we're constantly trying to improve this online offline solution. There is an offline solution available using the Scoreboard application, so you can still, if internet goes down, you can use our Scoreboard application. You can still use the scoreboards. You would manually input the names, but you can run your tournament using that offline scoreboard. Actually, the athletes would not see any difference on the TV. They would see the same type of scoreboard, but you're running it offline until internet comes back, or, are in the worst case scenario that something would happen for a couple of minutes. Just wanted to, mention that. So make sure to use the Scoreboard application when you're running your events. You can download it from download.smoothcomp.com. Predrag says, amazing information about the servers. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Yeah, that's what we work really hard, and we spend a lot of money making sure that we have the fastest and most reliable servers out there. Then Johan Orbo seems to have found a little bug here for the offline scoreboard. Yes, but it says walk over first name, last name. We didn't know that. All right, Johan, thank you very much.
Send a message, Johan, and we'll look at that.
Yeah. Johan Orbo from the Swedish Judo Federation, always testing the system to its maximum, and we appreciate that. It's really, really good. So Empire Grappling says, how might only be the Judo scoreboard? Maybe. We'll take a look. So please remind us with an email. Empire Grappling says, how would you know the next match details if the server goes down even for a few minutes? Well, if the server goes down, well, then you are offline. Then you wouldn't know the next match coming up. So that's why we always recommend you should print your brackets. Again, this is very, very rare that, our servers going down has almost never happened, at least for a longer time. We sometimes go down when we deploy new updates, but that's a planned update, and then the servers go down, and then you will not be able to reach Smoothcomp for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. But in the case of your internet going down, well, then you need some sort of backup solution. And then you should always have like a hotspot being able to connect to internet. But if Smoothcomp is not accessible, then you would not see the fight order.
I would say it depends on the level of trust you have in your connection to the internet. So if you have two redundant sources to the internet, like a Wi-Fi and a backup hotspot, but if you feel this is a bit shaky or you're not trusting your setup, you could batch print them as a PDF, the brackets, to have them as a backup if the worst comes to worst. But it's all depends in your experience and your trust of your setup to reach the internet, I would say.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that the scoreboard application and the normal web scoreboard you can actually finish the match you have just opened. It's not like the clock will stop and the whole scoreboard will be locked. So you can of course finish the fight that you have opened, but then you will not be able to save it until you have internet again. So you always have maybe 5 minutes to spare for the current match.
Let's just briefly talk about this comment that Pablo wrote. He's waiting for a mobile application that will notify the athlete with a loud signal before the match. Pablo, it's coming. We're working on it. I can't really say so much more. Just, patience is the key here. But we're working on something awesome for a smartphone application. So we'll come back with another webinar when it's time, but that's going on. That's happening in the background right now. So that's one of our 2 larger projects for this year. George says, guys, you're doing great work. 6 years with your app. Everything is smooth and good. All right. Glad to hear that. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on. I want to show you some of the new things we've been working on for Judo, and that mainly is the Judo and Kata Scoreboard. So I'm going to share my screen like this. So we had requests from USA Judo and other judo federations, the Swedish one, and we have several large judo federations that also have, except for Shiai, which is 2 persons fighting each other, there's Judo Kata, where 1 or 2 people demonstrate techniques. So we have built support for this, and it looks like this. I'm going to create a bracket here from the start. Let me see if I can just zoom out a little bit. Hold on. So how's that for you? A little bit better? Okay. So create bracket. That's a standard procedure. We're going to create a bracket, and then I will choose the voting and judges score bracket here. So the one where it says 4, 3, and 1 here. There's actually 2 now, but there's this one, voting and judges score. And then there's the game type and scoreboard, and we have 3 different variations of a voting judges scoreboard. First one here is Judo, Kata Judo, and then there's one that is just a general one for patterns, like in Taekwondo or other sports where you just perform some sort of pattern or a kata. And then there's one for Taolo, which is a form of wushu. So Judo, and then you can decide how many judges, 3, 4, or 5, and then how many rounds per match, maybe just 1 here. And then you can choose which type of Judo Kata. So we have worked together with USA Judo and the people, that runs the kata events there. And then we have built support for these types of katas. So let's just choose the first one here, Katame no Kata. And then I could name my referees here. Jim, Joe, and Jill are my referees. And then I will create the bracket. And then the process here in the background starts spinning. And then I will click View Bracket. All right. So now we're in the bracket view. And the beauty here is that we have also built support for multiple device input, which means that a referee could take their phone and then log into Smoothcomp with a staff account, you need to have access to Smoothcomp. And then if I hover over this first match here, let me enhance that a little bit. You can see it says go to scoreboard. That will be the main table, clicking go to scoreboard. So I'm going to click that and open it up in another tab here. So it's over here. So this is the main table, seeing all the names of the kata and also the names of the judges here at the top, Joe, Jim, and Jill. And then as soon as one referee clicks open judge 1, so I'm going to open judge 1 input panel here. Now, as a referee, I would see this. And if I go back to the main table, you can see actually now judge 1 here. I don't know why. Oh, okay, I wasn't logged in. So it would say, or Martin, help me out here.
No, it's a green dot next to judge 1, means that they are logged in at that device.
Yeah, but it would say the name, right? If I were logged in from another account.
From this one here is just the J for Jill or Joe or Jim.
Okay. All right, yeah.
From this view. But if you go to that page, you will see what they say and you will see their name.
Okay. That makes sense. So here it says Joe.
Yeah.
All right. You can see that, but it's and
on the left-hand side.
That on the left-hand side it says Joe. All right. So main table sees this. No, wrong one. Where is it now?
To the right, in the middle somewhere.
Here we go. All right. So if I then input the scoring or the judging of the opening ceremony and the, I do my work as a referee here, so I will just, score. I won't go into detail, but this would be what the kata judge would do. And as you can see, when I click these buttons, we're, counting the total here at the bottom at all times. And then once the kata is over and I am satisfied with, my judging, it's hard when I'm sharing here. Can you see that now? It says
up to the top right corner outside of the picture, I think. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. So here it says submit form. So when I'm done and the kata is over and I want to submit my score, I will click submit form. And now scores are delivered to the main table, and now this screen is locked. So going back to the main table, which is, where is it? Here it is. I can now see that judge 1 has, made their scoring. There's actually is it a rule in kata that you cannot see the scoring during the match? Is that so? Can you help me?
So it was requested that the main table does not observe the scoring actively, so it's default hidden. If you toggle the switch, you will see all the input scores like this. And now in this view, there's a setting where you can remove highest and lowest score from the referees, and you will see that in red, and the crossover like that. To just get a total output on the side.
So once all judges have submitted their scores, then I would save this match or this kata. I won't go into try to finalize this, because since not all judges have submitted their scores, I won't be able to save here. It will say, before saving, all judges must have submitted and locked their form. So once they have done that, you would be able to save. And then if I go back to, so many tabs here, if I then go back to the bracket, I would see the score for Dana Logan here in this box. Yeah,
it's lots of cool features in it, and this is the stepping stone to get distant scoring for more scoreboards, like the technique we use in order to input from a device and then collect it on a main device or in the system directly. So submit scores cannot. When Rickard showed how to submit scores and the screen was locked, then the main table has to unlock it to give them back access. But Rickard can also enter their panel and correct or adjust scores for them. everything is real-time synced, so it's no delay in seeing whatever is scored. If your device breaks down, it's already in the cloud, so it's no damage done that way. Everything is automatically stored and saved.
And obviously, Johan Orbo loves this because he he works in the Judo Federation. He asks, "Is
It
there a
can be
nice?"
worth
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be worth mentioning that this technique will be reused for MMA scorecards, for example. So when you're collecting the ring judges, the ring referees, then you will get all their scorecards collected for the main table as well. Just
Hold on,
as
there's
an
a call.
example.
I think the UFC just called. Can I just so UFC, if you're listening, we have your scoreboard ready. All right.
And we have lots of ideas with this scoreboard or this technique that you could actually use it as an in-event voting system to just open up, voting for best performance, and then just give some options during the event. That would use the same technique base as this, but that is not around the corner. But it's ideas to utilize with the technique.
And then it's the Eurovision Song Contest next up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Johan asks, "Is there a nice view for the athletes and the audience?" And I assume you mean for watching the Kata scoreboard. Well, not yet.
When we spoke to the American Federation about this, it's also a matter of what is requested in what time, and they're not quite sure. Since they are ordering from us, they're not quite sure how transparent they want to be with live scoring or scoring afterwards. So the bracket itself displays scores in real time as they are posted, but not as they are entered. So that might be the bracket view, if we can enhance that some way. Or if live scores are requested, then we might have a look at that as a second step, I guess.
Yeah, great. Empire Grappling says, "This is a great idea for MMA. I'll take a look at this for the shows I work with." Yeah, that would be awesome. I look
Great.
forward to that.
Great.
Yeah. Help us out. Hey, help us make this available. And as we said, we now have the frameworks. We have the sort of built the foundation for using multiple device input. We have requests from the Kickboxing Federation, the Thai Boxing Federation to implement this. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're working on. Yeah. Martin, there's some questions here in the chat. I will let you answer those. A lot of people today. Let's talk a little bit about seeding athletes by connecting a ranking list from the Federation platform. So I will share my screen like this again. So in front of me, I have an event. I am under the menu bracket and then under settings. And then there's a new feature. It was, deployed a couple of months ago. We just deployed it. We didn't have the chance to let you guys know so much about it, but it's a huge project. It's used a lot by AJP and UAE JJF, which is our partners in Abu Dhabi. So they use this a lot. So I just want to go over how it works, because there's already a support for seeding by rank. So if I check this box where it says activate ranking positions, and then if I go here, then if I hover over the where it says seed here, let me make it a little bit bigger. You can see a little pen showing up here. So I could manually seed the players or the athletes in this group. So let's say Armando is seeded number 1 because I have my ranking system on a paper. I could manually, or I just know the athletes, in advance. I just want to make sure that Armando is seeded first, and then Irving is seeded second. So this was something that we've been had this for a couple of years actually. But now we have even improved this. So let me show you how that works. So if I don't want to manually do this, I could relate a ranking list on the federation ranking. So this requires the federation platform and the premium version where you can set up ranking lists. So let me see if I can find that. Sorry for going through the tabs here. Just want to make sure I have this correct. Let's take this one. Here we go. So under my federation platform, I have my ranking lists. And here I created an example. It says connect ranking example. And then I have, just like a TV chef, I have prepared this to include entries that that is men, and the class is black, and the class is master 1. So everyone that has points in one of these, like the combination of these, they have to be men, black, master 1. They will be in a ranking list, and it's called connect ranking example. So bear with me here. What I can do now is I can go back to this view, and then I can say, I want these ranking lists to be connected to my event and my brackets. So I will choose the Street Fighter, that's the name of the federation platform, connect ranking example, and then click add top list. That was unexpected. Help me out here, Martin.
It's to guide you to the automatic linking within the registrations list. So if you want to find a suitable ranking list automatically, you can enter, for instance, entry is men, class is black, and so forth. And if that is fulfilled, the automatic search function will pull up this ranking list and suggest it for you.
Oh, okay.
So it's not necessary. It's just to make your work easier and faster.
Okay, but I could also just close. If
just
I
add it and save it.
Okay. I click. Oh, my bad. I clicked add top list. I was meant to. My plan was to click save. All right. So now we added connect ranking example as a background sort of ranking list.
Don't forget to add top list. Sorry, add top list and press save. You don't have to put the filter inside. Just add top list and then OK.
Okay.
And now save.
All right. So now this ranking list is connected. You see there are some settings here, so I could go back and change things. I can click to view the ranking list. So if I do that, I'm over here, but it does not have any data yet because there's no results, but I could see the ranking list. All right.
And save.
Yeah, and now I will save. Oh boy. Is that the blue screen of... Anyway.
I didn't...
Okay.
Are we getting embarrassed here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
My bad. I think you get the picture, because what I want to show you is that once that is saved, that it's on me. It works. I know it works. It just made some mistake in setting it up here. But then I can relate to this ranking list from the group here. So when I have this activated, a new box shows up here where it says manual seed, or I can click link to ranking list. If I click that, then it's searching for that list. Okay, here was. And then I wasn't sharing it. And then I can say, well, connect ranking example, and then select. So now if one of these athletes were in that ranking list and had points and were seeded, they would automatically get their seed in here. So the connection is made. If any of these athletes are seeded, have points, they would get their seed automatically.
And the most powerful thing here is that if we done all the steps properly, set it up by rules before, and you're just opening up your registration, you're doing it like the first time, and you receive one registration into one group, it will pick up the ranking from the list they are connected to. So let's say they are in spot 27 on a ranking list. Then they will be seeded 1 because they are alone. And then as another player comes in at rank 15, now they will switch. So the 15th ranked will step in at number 1 and the 27th will be at step 2 and so forth as the registrations comes in. So you don't have to go over this just once, or you will set it up and then it will populate accordingly and also sort in the public registration list to show you the seeding order of the bracket as registrations come in.
This saves a lot of time if you're working with a ranking. I can click link to another ranking list and then choose another one here, obviously. And then I can lock the seed. Can you explain that, Martin, a little bit?
Yeah, so if, let's say it's 3 weeks to go to the event and I don't know, maybe I have a season that ends in 1st of May, and then I have a World Championships on 1st of June, and there are a few events in between, and I don't want those events affecting the ranking and the seed of the World Championships. Then I can lock the seed, which means they will no longer live update according to gathered points at other events.
All right. This is great. You want to ask, so I can always have a hidden ranking list that connect to the seed in all our events, so the best gets pulled apart?
Correct.
Correct. That's what it does.
Yeah. So the rules that we were in fiddling with a little bit, Johan, that's where you say entry is men, belt is black, and so forth to give the automatic linking something to work with.
Yeah. All right. That was seed athletes and connect a ranking list. And then you need our federation platform. Briefly about the federation platform, it's intended for a large company or a federation that wants to have their own subdomain. So you could have yourname.smoothcomp.com. We have 2 variations. One is called basic, and it will give you academy memberships. So you could say, only these academies can enter my events. So there are restrictions for that. And then you can also charge your academies. So let's say you run a small federation and you want to accept membership fees. Then you can say, well, you need to become a member and then you need to pay and then you can register to this event. That's the basic version. And then there's also the premium version, which is even more. So you have the academies, but then you also have athletes memberships. So you can charge individual memberships per athlete. And there are many, many more tools. We'll cover some of them soon. But basically, our federation platform gives you your own subdomain. Only your events will be listed. And then you can have more features like the ranking. You can print credentials. You can have your logo in your streaming. So in your streaming, and you want to display your logo in the stream, you can have you need to have the federation platform premium version. But it's great. It works really, really good, and it helps a lot of federations all over the world right now. All right. I will actually move on. Let's talk a little bit about Taekwondo. I was actually in a meeting this morning with the Australian Federation that uses Smoothcomp, the Australian Taekwondo Federation. So I'm going to display a little bit. So we've been working with several Taekwondo federations, but adjusting for the Olympic standard of Taekwondo. And they had made some changes to their scoreboards recently, and now we have implemented them. So I have created a bracket here for Olympic Taekwondo, and then if I open one of the scoreboards, then
share.
It should, yeah, exactly. And then let's see if we can get this to sort of be visible. Can we do that?
Hidden by in the left panel still.
Yeah, I see that. It's big right now. Let's see if we can shrink it down a little bit. Yeah, it will look a little bit, like a little too small here. But anyway, you get the picture. So the Olympic scoreboard, it looks like this. There's the wrong logo in the background, but anyway. So if I start the scoreboard here, and if you haven't seen a Smoothcomp scoreboard before, it's all digital. It runs in the cloud, so you will just use the scoreboard application, or as I'm doing it now, using a normal web browser, Google Chrome or Safari. To add points, I would, in this case, click the name. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's because depending on the technique in Taekwondo, you get from 1 to 5 points, depending on if you're kicking towards the body or to the head. So yeah, we just adjusted this. There's the penalties here. And then the winning type, where when I click end game, are now updated. So you can see that, we have several different winning types: final score, superiority, golden point, referees, punitive declaration. Yeah, just the terminology from Olympic Taekwondo. So here was golden, final score, let's say that. And then I click save. And then back to brackets. So yeah, just excited to have this Olympic Taekwondo scoreboard updated. And then also, when we're talking about the scoreboards, this has also been a major project for us. But all scoreboards on Smoothcomp now have larger match numbers. So we're displaying the match number in white. That's the B3 here. On all scoreboards, and we have about 20 different scoreboards now, but they all had this update. And as you can see, we're now scrolling the text of the division. So if there's not enough room for your division name, in this case girls white 6 to 7 years old, we're scrolling this text. So yeah, major update to all the scoreboards. But when you're running your next event, you will see that all the scoreboards have this update.
On the topic, some of the other updates, if you haven't noticed, is that you can on all scoreboards now change colors of the player, like red or blue or green or white or whatever. You can choose to display flags, nationality flags, academy logos, and or both. So you have a lot of settings that you can do in the custom to display the scoreboard as you see fit.
Yeah. So here, right now, it's red and blue, but it could be, something totally different. There's a lot of colors to choose from here. All right. That was the Olympic scoreboard. Let me go over to this bracket now. So this is the beautiful and now also updated USA wrestling scoreboard. And I will let you talk about this, Martin, because you've been in charge of this project. But basically, it's a bracket built for the team in Iowa, but it's also a bracket that is commonly used in the USA wrestling market. So please take it away and explain what we see.
Okay, so this is not a single elimination, not a double elimination, not a triple elimination, but I don't know how you say it, 5
Triple.
times.
A triple.
It's if you have all the players, in this case, I think it's a 32-man bracket displayed. So if you have 32 players, then every player gets 5 matches, similar as they would participate, or reminding you how a round-robin rounds would look like. Anyway, the idea is everyone starts in the first round in the gray area here. The winners moves to the green field, and the losers move to the gray field to the right. So if we look from the first line, 100% of the players are participating. Then 50% of those players wins to the green, and 50% of those wins to the green, and 50% of those wins to the green, and so forth. So that is what you're looking at there. For those players concerned, it's just a single elimination. But every time you lose, you keep fighting. So you get another match. So if you lose your first match, you end up in the gray area in the second column, and then you can win yourself up to the green area above. And I'm not sure if you zoom in there, Rickard, on that green label, it says Battle for 17th on the green one. which means if you win all your matches, the best placement you can get in a 32-man brackets is a 17th place. If you look on the row above, there says battle for 9th. So every match you're in, you're a battle for that specific placement. This bracket works very well for 2 players, 4 players, 8 players, 16, 32, 64. If you have bad luck with your draw and you have 17 players, then you might have one player getting just one match and then buy all the way to 17th place. So that's something you should take into consideration choosing this bracket. If you know the format is, if you know the amount of players you have and you can put a sizable amount of players, then it's a very good option to get many matches and really battle it out for each placement. So every match in the last column on the right side is a placing match you're fighting for. If you scroll in there, you can see to the far right, more to the right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so many windows here. So here we go.
Yeah. So the top match is for first place. The second match is for third place. The third match is for fifth place, and so forth. So every position is battled out in matches. So this is used at Dan Gable Donnybrook in wrestling, and we built it for that. The visual format is different, and we are very satisfied with this one because once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to see where you're going in the bracket. If you win or lose. If you lose, you go to the gray. You win, you go to the green. So yeah, hope that makes sense.
All right. Yeah, this is interesting, and we hope to be back in Iowa at the end of the year to showcase this updated version. The first one we had was not working perfectly in terms of the visual aspect of it, and then we have made some improvements, and we're continuing to improve this bracket. But it's a really nice one that gives a lot of matches to athletes.
And it's available in our template. So this is a 32-man template, and if you were 16 players, it would be half the height and one round off.
All right. Let's go back here, and then we're gonna soon give out some more credits. There's a lot of questions coming in, so we'll address them soon. But for now, I just want to create some brackets for with the new bracket type that is built for super fights. So we had this request for some time. If you're running an event where you only have super fights, meaning me and Martin is one fight, and then another couple is another fight, and we're just doing single matches between 2 athletes, we now make it a little bit easier to sort of choose this. We had this before, but we just improved the way to set it up. So if I want to create that, I can filter for a group with only 2 athletes, and then I can go toggle all, and then I have, you can see here, my super fights between Rick and Ron, etc. And then I can click batch create brackets. That's the best way to create a lot of brackets at the same time. You toggle all, and then you click batch create. And then I'm going to click, there's a summary, and then I'll click next. All right, so the new option here is called head to head. And then if I click head to head, I have now 2 different variations. One is the best out of 3 that we have had from before, where you fight until someone has 2 wins. So it could be 2 or 3 matches. But then we have the single matchup, and that is 1 match between 2 opponents made for fight cards. So that's the one that you should choose if you have your fight card event. So choose single matchup, and then this could be an MMA scoreboard or whatever, Sambo, or anything that you want to use. It's available for most of them. I don't know if we have it for Kata. I don't think so.
No,
but anyway, no. But yeah, let's do a Sambo scoreboard. and then, the normal configuration of your bracket, and then just click create bracket, and I will put them on mat A, and then create brackets, and now they're being created as normal. I can continue to work with the system while it's being created, and then just click view bracket, and now we have this single bracket here. And then when I open the scoreboard, we usually display like a animation of a final. It comes in like a text, and there's this spinning of the logo. We have removed this because it's not a final in that sense. It's just one single match. But you're fighting Frank Dux, Martin.
Okay, that's fine.
It's fine? Do you think you can
Sure.
beat him? That's the guy from Bloodsport.
Yeah, but they
All right.
didn't do jiu-jitsu back then.
I'll cheer for you. All right. 1, 2, 3. The Sambo scoreboard has this. I love this button, painful hold. So you can put another person in a painful hold, and then I'll finish the match, end game, and then winner by submission was Frank. Actually, sorry, Martin. He trained some jiu-jitsu. And then back to the bracket, and now we have the outcome of the match here. So yeah, that was the single match, the fight card single match setup. All right, questions, a lot of questions. We will soon go over to the live streaming part. Just want to show you some more stuff before that. Actually, let's do some credits now. So I'm gonna go over here, and then let's spin the wheel again, and then see if whoever gets 200 credit.
It's not even a fair chance with so many players.
All right, let's see what we can do about that. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Hold your thumbs, and let's see who is the winner. And it's that was close. It was the Czech Kickboxing Federation. Congratulations, the Czech Kickboxing Federation. You get 200 credits. Let's do one more, right? Yeah, we're gonna do.
Let's do a bonus spin.
Yeah, bonus spin. We have another one coming up later, but let's do one more. We're feeling generous today, so let's spin the wheel again. I mean, that makes me happy. TMS, you get even more credits. All right, TMS in Ukraine. Amazing guys. Keep up the good work, even if you are in a terrible situation right now. So that was great. All right, going back to this view maybe. Here we go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about documents with expiry date, and then we'll go over to the streaming. So the documents with expiry date is something that we added a couple of months ago. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So if you're running a federation and you have the need to have athletes upload documents when they register to become a member of your federation. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're running a Thai boxing federation in Australia, and then you require all athletes to provide you with documents regarding blood work. That means, a document that you have done the test to make sure that you don't have any diseases regarding blood or other diseases. Then you can request this. It could be a background check. Let's say that you're working with the Safe Sport, and you want them to provide their diploma of the course that they took. So background check, Safe Sport certification. Yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. So just add a custom data. You go to your federation platform, the membership, and then users data. And then you have the normal form here for what kind of information someone should have on their profile in order to become a member. But then now you can use custom data. and then you can say, please upload a file, and then you can describe the file required for coaches and technical officials. If you have this document available online, you can link to that document to make sure that they actually download the right type of document. So this link will be sort of provided to them when they start the registration process. And then you can describe that link in this field. And then you can say, this document requires a review process. So it has to be reviewed by someone from the federation before it's accepted. And also you can require an expiration date. So when someone uploads a document, they will be asked, how long is this document valid for? And then they need to input the expiry date. And then you can manually review this and then set the expiration date. So they will give you as like a suggestion of an expiry date, but then you need to obviously check the document, and then if it's correct, then you will approve it. And the beauty here is that once that document expires, we know this. We can inform them. So when they try to register for their next event and the document, the blood work, whatever it is, has expired, they will be asked to upload a new one. So that's what documents with expiry date does. Do you have any things to add here, Martin? Did I forget anything?
No, I think you covered it well.
All right. Then one more thing I will do before going into the live stream. Sorry if we kept you hanging on that one, but we want to show you what we've done for the coach manager. So the coach manager is each academy on Smoothcomp has their own page. This is actually the house that I'm sitting in right now. This is my academy here in Sweden called Naka Dojo. And we have 875 members that has a Smoothcomp account. And I can now adjust their profile in terms of their belt. So I could, if I promote someone, let's say I promote Aaron Evans here. I can click add belt or skill like this. And then this box shows up. And then I can add the skill here. So he trains jiu-jitsu, but it could be judo or kempo or karate. Actually, kempo is now added, and all the belts, that was a request from the Kempo Federation in Hungary. So we now have all the belts. So I would choose the sport that he trains, and in this case, jiu-jitsu. And then I will give him, he is now a blue belt. And then I can assign it when it happened. So it was actually today during a webinar. So congratulations. And who promoted you? Well, it was Rickard.
Smoothcomp Studio. He's going to be so surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, let's add it to him. I will remove it later because it's just for fun. Okay, so here's now his new belt. So this was a request from coaches being able to help their students, because sometimes the belt is required for them to register to an event. So now the coaches have a little bit more control, and they can help with that. On the same note, then we get questions. Well, I want to be able to change my student or member's profile. Well, this is not allowed because of the European, and I assume in the entire world, data protection regulations. So the user's account and the information that account holds is their property. That's their information. So we cannot, due to laws, give the coaches full control of date of birth and information on that profile. But the belt is something that we can have them change. Just want to mention that because we get a lot of questions for that. All right, so that's how to add a new belt. Let's see here. But what happens to the possibility to change settings for our members. Okay, Johan, yeah, I answered your question there. So that's not something that you can do. You can create members, you can register them to events, but the actual user information is the property of that athlete, and that's European law that we of course adhere to. All right, I think it's time. Let me go back to this view. So I would like to challenge you all a little bit, because we have built new tools for our live streaming. And Martin Varhult, can you talk a little bit about that project and it's what it actually essentially does in terms of the new applications and the background of this project for the live stream?
Yeah, it does live stream.
Perfect.
No, but it's actually a whole new application. So it's still called Smoothstreamer, and it's found on App Store and now also on Android for the first time. So even if it's named the same, even if it has the same name, it's actually a whole new application. That is the last one was very easy, but this one is ridiculously easy. Just I think you're gonna show it, right? So I don't want to.
You don't want to spoil anything.
spoil anything. Yeah.
So, but it's available both for iOS, which is Apple devices, iPhones, and iPads. But we also have support for Android now. So we have two applications, either for iOS, which is a little bit ahead in development, and then Android is working, but there's some adjustments that is being done right now. But if you want to stream your event, it's super easy. I'm gonna put my chin out here. I don't think there's any other platform or solution out there that is as smooth and as easy to set up as ours. That now I said it because it's so easy because the new cameras on both iOS and Android are really, really good. Like a modern phone has an amazing camera. So just using your phone or your tablet and then creating streams is really, really easy. So I would like to challenge everyone. Am I able to create a live stream, or actually I can create maybe 2 of them or 4 of them, and then scan it and then put it on my phone under 1 minute? I don't know. What do you think? I think I'll be able to do it. So I'll share this camera instead, looking over my shoulder, and then I'll use my phone. Here's my phone. And then I'm going to put on the clock and then start a timer. And then let's see, if you can see my screen, and then we'll see if I can make it under 1 minute. So here we go. Here comes the timer. All right. So I will click the mats here, creating A, B, C, and D. Then I will choose my platform here. So I'm streaming to YouTube. And then I can set the visibility here so everybody can watch it, or I can have it unlisted or private. And then I will click create. And now it's being created here in the background. So we're creating using an API towards YouTube. And now the streams are being populated here. And here is the Smoothstreamer app button. And then I will click that, and that displays a QR code. And then I will just use my camera and then scan the code. And then a little, I don't know if you see this, but then there's a button here that says import settings. Do you want to import the following settings for mat 1? Because I scanned mat 1, and then I click OK. And now I have 5 seconds left, and now the stream is up and created, and now I can just start streaming. So yeah, I made it.
You did it.
Yeah. So under 1 minute, I was able to create all the streams for 4 different mats. You can see them here in the background. And then I can just click the Smoothstreamer app button for mat 1, scan it with my phone. I can use the normal camera, or I can open up the Smoothstreamer app and scan it with that application. So if I open up the Smoothstreamer app, Smoothstreamer here, it will actually display the first time I open it up, it will display like a QR code, scan QR code, it says. So we're guiding you here. Let me do this again and see if I can get it to work. So Smoothstreamer. I don't know if it pops up. No, it understands that I already created it. But anyway, you will see a scan QR code button here, or like information on the screen, and then you just show that or hover over the QR code, and then you will be asked, do you want to import? And then just click OK. So now,
just one question,
yeah.
so we don't miss that part. If your YouTube account is not set up for live streaming, you must activate that with YouTube, and that takes how long?
Well, if you have a new YouTube account, it takes 24 hours for YouTube to approve your new YouTube account before it's eligible for live streaming. So if you're just starting out, you have never used YouTube before, you need to prepare this by creating the YouTube account 24 hours before. But that's what it takes for YouTube to approve it. If you already have a YouTube account, then and I didn't show that. So you need to connect your YouTube account if you're streaming to YouTube before this. I had already done that. But in order to do that, you need to go to your profile. So OB1 and then settings. And then here it says linked accounts. So that's how you do this. So I had already created connected my YouTube account. And then the process of just creating the stream was under a minute. So make sure that you first connect your YouTube account, and then you can easily create the streams. Then let's talk a little bit about the new dashboard. So this is the new dashboard. This is the streams for Saturday. There's a toggle here for if you are running, multiple days, then you can see Saturday or Sunday here. We will make a small improvement so that this page automatically understands what day you are on. So that's an update that is coming, because now it defaults to Saturday. So that's an update that's coming. And then we also give you streaming options here. So if I click the cogwheel here, there's now the option to display different things in the stream. So if I want to display the profile pictures, when somebody registers to your event, you can actually demand that they upload a profile picture to their profile before they can register. So if you're using a lot of streaming, I recommend to go to users data and then activate the profile picture and make it a required one, because then you would have all the athletes' profile pictures, which looks really good in your stream. You can display academies, countries, or teams and affiliations. And that's under the tail of tape settings. So in between each match, we will display a tail of the tape that shows the upcoming bout between the two athletes, and will show, as you see here, the profile picture, the academy, etc. And then once somebody starts the scoreboard, that will disappear, and then the scoreboard shows up in the stream. And here you can also choose what to display: athletes' names with a flag, academies, countries, teams, and affiliations. So up to you what you want to display. And then you can also decide how long the overlay is visible before it disappears. And then the same thing goes for the tail of the tape timeout. So it will display it for 30 seconds, but then it will automatically fade out so that you can see the athletes in the background. So that was the connection to YouTube. But we have more. If you're using a more professional production, maybe you're using a 2-camera setup or 3-camera setup, you have a computer, you have a commentary team in place, you might want to use a software like Ecamm or OBS or vMix. OBS is free, so then you can just click OBS. Then it's something called RTMP. That's the sort of keys and server data that needs to be inputted manually into OBS. So it's actually well explained here. It says connect RTMP. So go to OBS, open the settings, open the stream tab, and then select service custom. Sorry. And then enter the information below. So you can just click here to copy this server URL and then the stream key, and then just input that into OBS. And then you have created where the stream is going to. It's now it's connected. So when you start streaming, you can stream it to using OBS to wherever you want. And then in this case, it's going to YouTube. And then in order to display the scoreboard, there's different methods here, but the easiest one is just to drag this button here. So if I just, can I do that? No. No, it's something happened when I share my screen. But there's a button here that says drag me to OBS. So you would just drag that button onto the OBS software, and then automatically the scoreboard is added to the stream. So yeah, super easy to use OBS. And it works the same with Ecamm, which I love and actually use right now. Ecamm is a software for Mac. You can do the same here. We have created guides for all of them. So just follow this guide. And if you have a production team, they are very familiar with RTMP keys and how to do this. And the same thing goes for me, vMix. And then lastly, I want to mention our pay-per-view solution. We work together with a streaming company called Staylive. They offer the chance for you as a Smoothcomp organizer to use their platform for streaming, and then you can offer the streams as a pay-per-view. So you can charge for your pay-per-views. And then you would use the other option here. So other, then you would need to, as of now, create the streams first in Staylive, and then copy the stream key, the RTMP URL and the RTMP keys from Staylive into this panel here. And we will help you with this. If you're new to this, there's guides in our knowledge base, and then you reach out and we will help you. We will soon have an API towards Staylive, just like the one I used for YouTube. We will have the same thing for Staylive. But then you can set up your streams with Staylive, charge for your stream, and then earn some revenue from your streams, which is great. And then there's a revenue share deal. So contact us if you want to know more, and we will set you up with a salesperson from Staylive, and they will help you to set this up and use. And there's many of you have already started using it, and I used it for my event 2 weeks ago, and it's great. Yeah, that was it.
It's also great to combine the both features. So you can actually, if you do Staylive first and you do pay-per-view, and then after maybe 2 months or so, then you can put it on YouTube. Then you can do revenue on YouTube afterwards for ads and stuff. So you can do both. And for Staylive, it doesn't come with any cost for you, so it's free of charge. There is just a revenue share, so there is nothing to lose, actually. That's also great to mention.
Getting some nice words here from Pavlo. My colleagues in video streaming are ecstatic about your updates and titles. They've said it's the best they've seen in the sports industry. Wow, that's great to hear. Yeah, our streaming team has really worked with this for a long time, and we learned a lot. So yeah, we're thank you, and we're very happy about this new update, and we have more things coming, but as of now, it's out there. It's working. We're having events each weekend using our streaming, and it's free. It's free. You can use it. There's no hidden fees or anything. Just use it. We want you to use it. That's how we see it right now. If you want to use the pay-per-view, there's no cost, like Martin said, but then there's a revenue share deal, so you will need to share a little bit with Staylive and with us. But a lot for you guys.
I was away in the chat for a while, but did you
Mm.
mention that you can also record the event?
No, I didn't, but now you mentioned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So with the new app, you're actually with Smoothstreamer for both Android and iOS. Actually, Android is coming in a couple of weeks, 1 week maybe. It's on the way. But in iOS right now, you're actually able to record your event as well. So if you have not as good internet or bandwidth, then you can record everything and you can upload it afterwards. And it will actually automatically create file names for each match. So it will name the movie file name to like Richard versus Martin, adult black heavyweights,
What?
super fight dot mp4. So that's also a nice feature actually.
Yeah.
And you can actually do that on Android today, but it will not split and name the recording files. It will just be one long movie file for several hours, and you have to split it manually afterwards. But on iOS, it will split automatically.
Mm. And we have been using this already. We help. That's a Swedish word for help. We help an organization called ADCC, and they are in contract with UFC Fight Pass, which is a UFC streaming service. So they're using this already. So recording locally and then uploading or streaming it. So you can both stream and both record the transmission, like Martin said. So yeah, yeah, we have some Android split for me every 30 on my device, says Randall.
Yeah, I can speak to that. There is a setting for that under record settings, but I do believe that the default setting is 30 minutes. But you can do other minutes and you can do no split at all.
All right. Okay, let's give away some more credits. We said we're gonna give away 3 packages, but we're feeling generous, so let's do one more. So who will take away another 200 credits? Spinning the wheel here again.
So close.
So close. Just like when you were a kid. Okay. Kakushin Events Limited. Kakushin sounds like karate or something, right? All right.
Do one more. Do one more.
Okay.
Do one more.
How many credits do we have? So we're doing one more. Kakushin, congrats. And then I'll do one more. And then we're going to end the webinar after this. If you have questions, then we'll happy to answer them, of course. But one more spinning of the wheel. And then we're going into
Queensland.
Yeah, that must be Queensland Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. So one of the states in Australia. Congrats for 200 credits. All right.
Well, thank you for all the nice tributes written. Heartwarming.
Yeah. All right. Empire says Kakushin is Japanese for innovation. Ah, I didn't know that. Congrats, Lee.
Oh.
That's
a fair game, there. Empire. You just lost and you give away praise.
That's awesome. Innovation. I didn't know that. All right. So let's end with some questions, and it could be about anything. If you have questions that you think we could solve here during the webinar, please write them now, and we will help you with that. If we have more questions while we're waiting. Okay, here's a question. Is there a possibility to add automatically for ADCC events additional time in the scoreboard for the finals, or can it be done only manually?
Oh, at the moment that's manual. I'm afraid it's going from 8 to 16 or 10 to 20 when it turns into final, right?
So in each scoreboard, you can manually add seconds or minutes using the small, 1 or 30-second buttons. Finals are 8 minutes, he says.
Okay, 4 or 8 then. Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. You can write me, Predrag, and we can see how complicated it is to add it. I know we've been talking about it before, but it's never been done.
Yeah,
Right.
we should definitely add that.
All right. Sure, he says. That's great. Yeah, Pablo says the software is intuitively understandable and there's a knowledge base, so there are not many questions. Oh, that's good. That's always good when there's not so many questions. Yeah, and we have a knowledge base that we try to keep updated. We need to start recording some more videos. We have one video being prepared for our live streaming that we're working on. So hopefully we will be able to sort of summarize the live streaming capabilities and how to set it up soon. Then we have another really interesting video coming up. I can't share that right now, but there's another project going on that we are very excited about that we will share soon. So cliffhanger
Are
on
you,
that one.
if you guys are following the release notes, you will be updated also on everything from minor to major updates that we release, and the output of the team lately has been really, really high. So there's a lot of things to catch up in the release notes if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's updated every week, actually, more or less.
Johan loves the release notes. So do I. The last one, Martin, was very extensive. I know you haven't gotten to it yet, but we deployed this Monday, and it was like, I think, 30 different new small features. So, yeah. So, Empire Grappling asks, is there a way for the athlete to get a notification email when they have signed, weighed in with a link to their match times? And then he asks, sounds daft, but the amount of people that still do not understand where to find the info is high.
We are actually, one part of the personal app that Rickard mentioned before will have notifications as a part of that. And then we have another update coming for find matches as well that will solve kind of that problem. But no, so far it's the My Account update. You should direct all your athletes to check.
Alan says, by the way, thanks for the access for the demo account. Our team will discuss about this and explore together the system this week.
Perfect.
Right, that's great.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. ADCC Thailand have amazing things coming up for their events. So yeah, thanks a lot, and yeah, we look forward to work with you guys. Can we get a custom 3-man bracket? You have a format, but I was wondering if we can change one setting for our events. Grappling X.
Write us and describe it.
Yeah. Write us and describe it. That's how we work. And then sometimes there's there's things that are not, I say easy, but then developers sort of look at me like nothing is easy. But yeah, some things are easy, like it aligns with the things we're working on right now, and some things are not, and then we'll maybe have to wait a little bit and see if it's something that we can support. But yeah, write us an email.
And we have so many different brackets, so maybe we already have the bracket, but it's just named differently, but it does the same thing, right?
Yeah. Then we get a question. Non-streaming question. Is there a way to do a 3 deadline refund coupon credit instead of just 2 deadlines? Right now, no. There's 2, so you can have 2 dates, and then you can choose if you want to give a refund as money or as a coupon code. But right now we only have support for 2. Yeah, just sharing some comments here. CJ Howells, I held my first tournament using Smoothcomp, and what a good software. I learned everything via the tutorials. However, on the day I had trouble creating open weight divisions, possibly, or was I being dumb? No, I don't think so.
There is an article for how to create your open weights, I think. And there is basically 2 ways. Either you have an open weight division where you let people register beforehand, or you want to just take, let's say, all the medalists from the event, filter them out in the registrations list, mark them, copy them and create a new division where you make the bracket for the open weight. So if you're having trouble with this, just write us in support, and we'll be happy to show you over a meeting and go over the steps to do it.
Yes, I can show you quickly here. If I want to copy these athletes, I just click here, and then I click copy. And then if I have created an entry in advance, called it open divisions, or in this case, absolute women, I can just copy them to the absolute women entry, and then choose if there are, in this case, they were actually white belts, and then adult. And now copy registrations. It will, if I choose the first option as select group automatically, it will put them into the absolute women white belt group, or I can actually choose an existing group or create a new group and then just name it something. But in most cases, select group automatically is what you need to do, and then just copy registrations. And now you have copied them to, this absolute women white belt adult group, and then you can create the bracket. Pro tip, in our events, we actually, and this is, based on how you run your event, but here's an example. I have a 2-day event, and we have the open divisions the day after. What we learned is that if we open registrations for the open divisions in advance, like 2 months ahead, everyone will sign up for the open division. But after they competed on Saturday, they are sore, and then they will skip out. So then you have a lot of work on Sunday trying to sort of collect everyone. So you will have a massive number before, but then on the day of the event, a lot of people are not attending. So we actually do it like this. We open up the registrations the day of. So Sunday morning at 5 a.m., early in the morning, I open up my registration and let people register up until 11 a.m. And then we close registrations, because then we know that those that actually woke up Sunday feeling, well, I want to fight in the open division today, they register, and then they show up, and then you have a much less problematic Sunday. So then that goes back to what we talked about earlier, that you can have different registration dates. So you don't have to have all entries following the same registration date. You can override that. So that's how we do it. And then Sandy said, this is CBJJF, so the Canadian Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation.
Mm-hmm.
That was according to the 3 deadline refund coupon. Yeah, I think this is the longest webinar we ever had, but it's been so much fun. So thank you everyone for joining. Congrats to those that won the credits. We will try to do this more often, because we really enjoy it, and we hope that you guys enjoy it. And I will try to also go live sometimes and then just share some useful things on how you can work faster in the system. There are some things that we have sort of done or learned over the years, how you can faster use some of the features. So I'm happy to go live and then just have like a workshop in the system. All right, final words, guys?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really happy with this.
Yeah.
Great with the turn up.
Yeah, best ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone for being here, and then we'll see you soon for the next one. And then look out for the new upcoming things we have in the pipe. All right, that's it. Gonna put out an intro here and then or outro, I should say, and then I'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.